Hello everyone, today I'm going to talk to you about evidence-based, low-risk ways to extend both lifespan, meaning how long we live, and health span, meaning how well we live. Now let's take a deeper dive. Exercise, that's super important. So when we talk about exercise, preferably almost every day, which includes aerobic exercise, greater than about 150 minutes per week of moderate activity, preferably cycling, walking, swimming. It gives linear risk reduction up to very high volumes without evidence of harm. Vigorous workouts, 75 to 150 minutes per week, adds extra protection. However, the longevity curve plateaus above around 150 minutes per week of very hard work. Another thing that I would consider adding is high intensity interval training. 1 to 2 sessions per week of 15 minutes high intensity interval training keeps VO2 max high while avoiding ultra endurance plateaus. Now keep in mind, high VO2 max is associated with longer life. Strength training, 30 to 60 minutes per week, 2 to 3 sessions, cuts all-cause mortality by 17% and cardiovascular disease by 18%. Benefits disappear after 130 minutes per week, so more is not necessarily better. Flexibility training and balancing like yoga, tai chi, or simple balancing drills 1 to 2 times a week lowers chances of falls and reduces arrhythmia risk and accelerates autonomic recovery. Grip strength is an easy biomarker. Low grip strength predicts early CV events better than systolic blood pressure. And in many cohorts, like lifting groceries, climbing stairs, carrying grandchildren, has been shown to be helpful. 2, eating like the arteries are watching. A DASH diet, a Mediterranean diet, or a hybrid of the two. Eating fruits and vegetables 5 per day, whole grains, legumes, olives, or canola oil, and foods that contain omega-3s, nuts and seeds daily, minimally refined starches, and then sodium less than 1,500 milligrams if possible. Potassium-rich foods like avocado, beans, greens blunt the pressor effects of salts. If possible, avoid meats and trans fats and sugar-sweetened beverages. Alcohol is a neurotoxin, so none is ideal, but if you do have to drink, less than 1 drink a day for women or 2 for men, and avoid weekend binge patterns. Now, each additional daily serving of ultra-processed foods raises incidence of cardiovascular disease by approximately 6%. Each daily serving of nuts lowers it by 5%. 3, keeping the numbers that matter in the green. Every 10 millimeter per mercury drop in systolic blood pressure yields 13% fall in cardiovascular events across the lifespan of someone. Every 1% drop in hemoglobin A1C, approximately 7% fall in micro and macrovascular complications. These are important figures. 4, guarding the clock and the mind. Sleep is really important. 7 to 9 hours a night. Deep sleep should be at least 25% of our total sleeping time. And REM sleep should also be at least 25% of the total. Now, sleep quality also matters. Sleep quality should be higher or equal to 85%. Following strict sleep hygiene guidelines, like keeping a dark room or sleeping in a dark room, temperature at 18 to 20 degrees centigrade in the room, no TV, no computers, no phones for at least an hour before going to bed is really important. Stress reduction. Daily 5 minutes diaphragmatic breathing or meditation lowers cortisol, improves heart variability within 2 weeks. Depression and anger are independent cardiovascular risk factors. They need to be screened yearly and treated appropriately. Insomnia doubles incidence of myocardial risk. Combining stress reduction with exercise abolishes that excess risk. The environment and small habits. Spending greater than 2 hours per week in parks, woods, or near water lowers sympathetic tone and blood pressure by 4 to 6 millimeters per mercury. Gardening, dog walking count as light outdoor activity and, believe it or not, correlate with telomere lengthening. Now, sometimes we need to take supplements, and there's supplements for reducing our lipids like omega-3s, plant sterols, citrus, bergamot, aged garlic, red yeast rice, niacin, even though it's controversial. As far as anti-inflammatory and antioxidants, curcumin, resveratrol, NAC, quercetin. Supplements for blood pressure, alpha-lipoic acid, arginine/citrulline, NAC, magnesium, vitamin D, vitamin C, vitamin B6, vitamin E, grapeseed extracts, EGCG extracts, and more would be really helpful. Now, sometimes you have to take medications and evidence-based pills when lifestyle is not enough. Aspirin, 75 to 100 milligrams for daily if someone has high risk of cardiovascular disease and is less than 70 years of age, because tendency of bleeding goes up after 70, sharply goes up. Statins, even though I don't like them, they are sometimes important for cases of hyperlipidemia and in cases of diabetes or pre-diabetes for somebody in their 40s to 75 years of age. Newer anti-diabetic medications like CGL2 inhibitors, GLP-1 receptor agonists are useful. For hypertension, the ACE inhibitors or ARB and other kinds are very useful. Pharmacological synergy, when statins with ezetimibe and PCSK9 can drop LDL by 75% when everything else fails. Now, sharing personal journeys, tracking and adjusting and repeating, very important. Annual labs, home blood pressure, periodic 7-day accelerometers, smartwatch review, recalculating 10-year cardiovascular risk every 5 years or after major change. If VO2 max is less than 27 ml per kilograms per minute for men or 23 at any age should be treated as a red flag, and prescriptions for structured exercise is important. Now, VO2 max we may reach a plateau, but does not fall with further training. 12 METs, yet each additional MET confers 11 to 16% mortality reduction across all age stratas. So, what's the key takeaway cardiovascular prevention or for longevity? Is a multiplier game. 1, build and keep cardiorespiratory and muscular fitness. 2, feed vessels with plants and healthy fats. keep blood pressure, lipids, and glucose lean, protect sleep, calm the mind, breathe clean air, and stay socially connected. Do these consistently, and the heart you save will carry you with vigor into your 90s and beyond. Hope this was helpful. More to come.